My longtime friend had recently told me that he's waiting for his 17-year-old coworker to turn 18 because he wants to ask her out. I was immediately grossed out and told him that that was predatory behavior, and he laughed and said, "A true gentleman waits until they're 18.
The beautiful thing is we're all human. This all happens. You can do whatever you want. There's consequences, but do whatever you want.
People are going to do what they want to do.
100%.
Bottom line.
The baby's crying and the dog's barking. I'm like, you're bad. Welcome to Two Girls, One Thread.
Okay, KJ, I have a question for you. What is a very objectively simple concept or fact that for some reason you really struggle with?
I would say, oh man, there's probably many. Maybe more meta, asking people for help.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. And that is just across the board a little bit challenging, even though it's like, can you get that door for me? It's not that hard to say.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. I like meta.
And I think it's sweet. Sometimes it's important to let people in and let people help you. It's how you build intimacy.
That's so true, KJ.
How about you?
You're like, speaking of which, I've got an air conditioner I'm hoping you can put in the window. I also think there's many simple things that I struggle with on a daily basis, but I think a big one that never ceases to amaze me is how hard of a time I have converting time changes from the East Coast to the West Coast and running that math, which is the same always. It's 3 hours. And if you ask me right now, is it forward or back? I have to like truly take a minute, and I almost always get it wrong. Despite living in LA for almost 10 years.
I feel you with that.
I'm working on it. Military time as well. That's a tough one. So that's the reason that I avoid cruise ships predominantly. But if you didn't guess today's topic on Two Girls, One Thread, yeah, it's called No Stupid Questions, which I don't know if I agree with that philosophically, but in general, right? No stupid questions. Some of these questions we're going to read, they are, I would argue, are a little bit stupid, but what do you think? Is there such a thing as a stupid question?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good content out there on Reddit, so we're excited.
There's definitely a lot of good content on Reddit. A lot of curious people.
From No Stupid Questions. Is it weird that my 35-year-old friend is waiting for a 17-year-old girl to turn 18 so he can ask her out?
Stop.
My longtime friend had recently told me that he's waiting for his 17-year-old coworker to turn 18 because he wants to ask her out. I was immediately grossed out and told him that that was predatory behavior, and he laughed and said, "A true gentleman waits until they're 18. He genuinely sees nothing weird or wrong with this. He asked her for her number, and she said that when she turns 18, she will give it to him.
Oh, God.
I'm stuck on the fact that he asked a 17-year-old for their number anyway. What if she wouldn't have declined? He also went to her Facebook and saved pictures of her to his phone to send to us.
Oh.
I also found out that a girl that he previously talked to for a few years was freshly 18, and I don't know, but all of this grosses me out, and I don't want to be his friend anymore, but I also don't know if I'm overreacting.
You definitely should not be friends with him unless you really want a pen pal, because I think he's going to be going to jail soon. Ew!
I know. So 35 is, what is that?
That's about twice the age of the person.
17 years difference?
Yeah, half of double the life. I mean, holy crap. Also, like, saving the photos off the Facebook, my alarm bells are ringing for a couple of reasons, because technically you're sending around a photo of an under it. Like, it's just like, this guy's a creep and he's bragging about it. That's kind of the scariest part for me.
I know. And it's such a big difference in terms of maturity.
I mean,
it's a cradle robbing.
Yes, but also it's 100% predatory. Like, you're working with someone, you're waiting for them to turn 18. Ooh, I can't wait for them to turn 18 and do things like graduate high school so that I, a 35-year-old man, can date her. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And is this like, do they work together at Best Buy? Is he like the boss?
I
don't know. I don't even think it matters. I mean, this guy could be he could be leaving out the whole thing that he's married and has kids and this is his babysitter.
Yeah.
We don't know. They could work at Starbucks together. And then the 17-year-old girl, she doesn't know. So she's like, oh, cool. This like older guys giving me attention. Meanwhile, like a true crime documentary is in the making. Like, please stop being friends with this person. That's really scary.
I think really until the woman gets to be at least mid-20s, the age difference means so much more.
Yes. I'm shocked that we haven't brought up Saturn Returns yet, but I think that we all know that that's definitely a piece of the puzzle. But yeah, under 18, like, it's also like, he's aware. He's literally just like, oh, I can't wait until her birthday. So then it's like, you're still a creep, honey, even if she's been 18 for one day. So that's not a stupid question, but that is a stupid man.
Yes. Top comment. Meanwhile, in the Reddit thread Teenagers, there's a 17-year-old girl talking about some creepy guy twice her age asking her out.
Oh my God. It's also, I just read Jeanette McCurdy's new book, you know, at like half her age, and about this relationship with the teacher who's much older. It's so pathetic and it's so embarrassing. And it's like, you can't find anybody else. So you're looking around to see why are you attracted to someone so much younger? Because you're going to try to take advantage of them in some way,
and I know men mature more slowly than women on average, but I think 18 years is a little bit of a stretch in terms of maturation.
Yeah, like, I think, if we bumped up that age difference, we were talking about like somebody that was like in their 70s and somebody that was in their 50s.
Yeah.
Okay. Go off. But this is... We all know it's
Let her
weird.
live. Let her do her own thing. She doesn't need you.
Leave her alone. I'm literally reporting you.
Especially at 35. If you were, I don't even know, a catch, you could pull someone your own age.
He's not a catch. He's a creep. He's 35 and he's on Facebook saving pictures of a high schooler and sending it to his friends. Holy shit. Well, I'm glad it was a wake-up call for the person who wrote it.
Yeah.
That's the only redeeming quality of this. People are... Okay, not a stupid question, though. So far, no stupid questions. Okay. This is also from the Red Thread, No Stupid Questions. The poster asks, is it weird that my dad still carries my sister to bed as a 23-year-old woman? Traveled back home for the holidays. I didn't know that the youngest still falls asleep in the parents' bed and my dad carries her to her own bed. I have my boyfriend visiting with me and he thought it was sweet and said it's because she's still his little girl. I asked my boyfriend if he would do the same for his sister who's 19 and he said yes. Okay. Am I absolutely insensitive for feeling the biggest cringe of my life seeing my dad carrying my 23-year-old sister from his bed to hers? Edit. Some people are really offended by this. This is just a topic of conversation. My sister's fine. I leave tonight and she'll go back to her regular routine. I'm blocking anyone being rude. I love the different perspectives, but seriously, guys, we're a family and we're happy. It's nothing more than a question. Okay.
Is the mom still alive?
I don't know. No mention of it. Why? Because they didn't say anything about dad going, me next. Yeah. And then going and getting the mom and carrying her up the stairs.
I feel like 23 is a little old to be doing that.
I think so. Unless it's like a very, very petite family.
Were you raised with co-sleeping?
No, Catherine, I was not.
I was not either.
Were you?
No.
Yeah, no.
But we didn't even ever, not any of us, we didn't ever sleep in our parents' bed when we were afraid.
No.
Or I don't even think we were trained to go into their room if we were afraid.
I think so too.
We never did that. Whereas, you do hear about people the kids sleeping on the ground, the kids in the bed all the time. No, I guess if we had a bad dream, maybe we'd cry out and my mom would come.
Right. Wait, so are you inferring that this family maybe is still employing the family bed?
It feels. I mean, why else?
Wait, because it does say it's carries the daughter from his bed to hers. So she's 23 and she's passing out in dad's bed, watching TV. And then he's like, okay, I'm going to carry her. It's so weird. Yeah.
Yeah, she must be petite. I mean, there's no way that my dad could carry me.
No. Are you kidding me?
Get up.
No, I know. I think
way too Midwest and athletic bone for that.
I think I aged out of that pretty quick. I feel like I was I don't know how long that would have been going on. But I think definitely by the time I was 6 or 7, I was a healthy cut of meat. I don't think anybody was carrying me up the stairs.
Yeah.
The boyfriend though being that's just the boyfriend trying to
completely
stay on the good side of everybody. Oh, it's sweet. It's just his little, but he's oh yeah, I'd carry my 19-year-old sister. I don't know. The last time I would think about carrying an adult to bed would be if or the last time I've maybe done that is like a friend that was like blackout in college or something.
Completely.
And I was pissed.
Yeah.
It wasn't sweet. Yeah, I do wonder. Okay, wait, there's one more thing. They said context. I called her the youngest because she's the only one that still lives at home. And I know the youngest tend to be babied more. She's not disabled in any way. It was a typical carry in front of him. And she supported her arm around his neck. I see it all the time with couples. Do you, wait, the context made it worse. Is that happening a lot for couples? Have you ever been carried to bed by someone that you were seeing?
No.
Is that something you would like to change?
I'm a big, sleep hygiene person. I like to put myself to bed at a reasonable hour. I don't really like falling asleep. I assume she's probably watching TV, as you said.
Right.
So I don't know.
It'd be weird if she was wide awake. She's just ready for her ride. Yeah, I think that is weird, and I think if the dad does want her to move out, he might want to dial some stuff like that back. Because I'm imagining if he's carrying her to bed and she's 23, I'm thinking the meat is still getting cut. I'm thinking she's probably got it pretty good. She's probably being treated like a baby, but is an adult. So she can drive, but then probably doesn't have to fill up her own tank. It's give me a lot to think about.
From No Stupid Questions. Are there people who haven't changed their phone number for more than 15 years? Have you?
Is that it?
That's it.
Yeah, I've definitely changed my phone number. But I've also moved countries and come back, and yeah. But I can still remember my childhood best friend's home landline number. So that's useful.
Yeah. How many numbers do you have memorized?
How many phone numbers do I have memorized? Not a lot. Under 5 probably.
I think I have my emergency contact.
Yeah.
And then my dad.
Yeah. Is that something that I should do?
And my dad and his sister. I don't even know my brothers.
Yeah. That's not a good situation. But that's just memorizing a number.
Yeah.
And then it's and your dad probably hasn't changed his number in a while.
Yeah, no, he hasn't.
OG cell phone. And then that's it. Have you changed your number a lot?
I have once.
Okay.
And that was just because I had, at the time, I had my existing high school cell phone number. And then one fateful Coachella, I ended up losing both cell phones. My work iPhone and my regular iPhone. And I think at the time could only afford to replace my work one.
Whoa.
So I just switched everything over to the work number. And I have since kept that.
Okay. Oh, so when I'm calling you, I'm actually technically calling you on your business line.
Yeah, my old business line.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty cool. Well, I'm glad to hear that you went hard when you went to Coachella. It sounds like you did it right. I wonder what the angle of why did the poster, what's keeping them up about it?
Yes, these top comment, yeah, me, same, 23 years for me. I've still got my Hotmail.
Oh.
I got my Gmail.
Ask Jeeves. I like when an old couple shares a phone. I think that's kind of fun. They share a phone or share an email address. I think that's kind of sweet.
Yeah, I think that's cute.
Keep it tight. And then you always have the excuse of, oh, sorry, it's Ronnie answering, not me. And then you can just kind of go from there. But, I'm just one person. My opinion, that might be one of the stupid questions that we've heard so far today.
Okay.
But thought-provoking nonetheless.
Yes.
Here we go. No stupid questions. Over the last 25 years, I've worked hundreds of weddings. Gay ones are almost always exclusively drama-free / easier to work than straight ones. Why is that? I've never seen two guys getting married throwing cake at each other's faces from across the room at borderline assault speed. For the curious, I'm part of a wedding videography team. I'm a straight married guy myself who's attended close to 1,000 goddamn weddings, okay, watch your language, over the course of my career. Retirement can't come soon enough. I'm from a state in the US where same-sex marriage has been legal for the better part of 2 decades. I've been in this field. We kind of have this inside joke that when we're assigned a gay wedding, everyone breathes a sigh of relief because it's going to be easy. A lot of you have probably seen those Bridezilla or Gypsy wedding shows. Trust me, more weddings are like that than most people know. Oh my God. When two guys or two chicks get married, literally never. I mean, yeah, all weddings have hiccups and snags. They're giant moving art pieces of events, but LGBT ones, in my thorough experience, are just wholesome and almost always get devoid of tyrant helicopter parents, asshole guests getting in physical fights, and complaints at every single turn. The cake thing I mentioned in the title, you have no idea how many couples I've seen completely destroy their cake and yeet it across the room / violently smash in each other's faces. Doesn't happen with same-sex couples. Literally haven't seen it once. You know how many times I've seen two just random male guests at weddings fighting in a parking lot of a venue that I've had to break up? Or some fuckery like that, enough times it would blow your mind. At gay weddings, literally never. So yeah, I know this is a stupid question. The answer will probably come down to cultural differences, but I'm honest to God curious as hell as to why this is. Me and a coworker were chatting about it last night over some drinks after we got done working a particularly chaotic wedding. We even joked about how despite living in a city with a very big gay population, we've never seen a gay guy yelling at his spouse in the Walmart or something. You wouldn't believe how often other staff members at venues interact with us, and when things get down to the wire, go, it's a same-sex wedding, it's gonna be smooth sailing. Whoa.
That's so interesting.
It is interesting. This post kind of threw me for a loop. What do you think?
I guess hormone syncing must be true.
Whoa.
You know?
Okay, so it really comes down to the cellular level for you. Why? And so then for a straight wedding, the hormones are...
Yeah, maybe they're at each other a little bit more. You know, that male-female dynamic comes from a slightly different angle.
Whoa.
I do think a lot of like the wedding energy is a tone at the top dynamic.
100%.
So I can see maybe with gay couples, they're a little bit more on the same page in terms of energy going into it. They're probably a little bit more grateful too. I feel like
Right.
straight weddings, everyone's so wound up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I could see that being like people getting drunker, people having a little bit more, energy behind their drunkenness. I think that makes sense.
Yeah. It's interesting though for like somebody who's on the videography side of it to be naming all of this. And I mean, we've obviously read so many posts about really scary weddings and things, but I was really trying to think like what could the reason for that be? I think you're right, like setting the tone from the top. I think that's like regardless of sexuality. I think like when people are more chill and it is more based in the love versus, you know, kind of the moving art piece, that kind of scared me.
Yeah, because I feel like with most gay couples, like they both individually have gone through a lot to get to that moment.
Right,
I feel like with straight couples, like what have they been through? Not saying that they haven't been through difficulties, but it's normally about like the woman getting the like the ring, convincing him to finally propose and marry her.
100%.
So it's a little bit like more of that jarring energy.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that could be it. I also am like trying to think about like maybe there could be an angle where the guests that are coming to a queer wedding are maybe, this isn't true in all cases, but I would imagine it's a little bit more of a curated guest list because you're across the board going to eliminate anybody that is like overtly, you know, really kind of out of pocket, overtly
not
homosexual,
super supportive.
not supportive. Like those relatives or whoever are going to be eliminated, I think, a little bit easier and with more of a real reason versus I think there is a lot more kind of what I've observed with just like heterosexual weddings. There's a little bit more like, well, we got to invite this uncle and this person from work and whatever. It's like, we all know that they're an asshole. We all know that they're going to make a scene and not behave themselves and make it about them. But that's how we want to spend our money.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it could be that as well. I mean, the cake smashing thing, I feel like we've talked about. I hate that so much. Have you seen it happen? Yeah, me too. It's always really shocking. And I always do wonder if like the person that does get that. And
I just can't even imagine a photographs well.
It does. It's,
You know, it's like a little aggressive.
It's a lot aggressive.
Yeah.
Like, would you ever literally just smack someone in the face? Like, hopefully not. But I don't know. Let's just see if they're...
Yeah, I mean, if a partner shoved cake in my face, like, we would rescind that marriage license and go back to the drawing board.
That's what I'm saying. Like, would you not just automatically do an annulment, like, on the spot? Okay, top comment is saying, troublesome family members usually don't attend gay weddings. And then another top comment, I had a queer wedding. I'll say a big factor might be the guest list. If your family's hostile towards you, you lose a lot of the feelings of obligation to invite them. Okay. And And then at least for myself and my husband, when we got married in 2015, it was just kind of miraculous in and of itself that we were having a real legally recognized wedding at all. The bells and whistles were completely unimportant because neither of us thought we'd ever actually get to have any kind of wedding, period. That's probably true too. Yeah, maybe a little bit. I mean, it's similar to like building families and stuff. There's no accidental pregnancies. So, there does tend to be maybe like a little bit more of a spirit of gratitude, at least up top. So interesting. I love the straight videographer writing in. Thank you, Ally King.
From No Stupid Questions. Do you brush your teeth once or twice a day? Need to settle a bet. My wife and I have a small wager about teeth brushing once versus twice a day. I don't believe most people, especially guys, because honestly, we take better care of our cars than our bodies, brush more than once.
I think you're definitely supposed to brush twice a day. Do most people do that? This is a guy who's writing it, saying that he's assuming most guys don't brush their teeth twice a day. That's upsetting to think about.
I know.
I don't know. I kind of want to cleanse my brain and just think about the people that like I've worked with that aggressively brush their teeth after they eat lunch at the office, which I also find upsetting, but at least they're trying to like not be someone who has bad breath and things like this. What do you think?
I assumed everyone did twice a day, like wake up, morning breath.
We need to get it right.
And then at night, like food particles after you've been eating all day.
Yeah. Would this count as a stupid question to you?
Let's see, top comment. Somebody told me brush in the morning to keep your friends, brush at night to keep your teeth.
Wow.
I've heard brush the teeth you like, floss the teeth you want to keep.
Okay, so guess it's time for us to get a dentist on. What the hell? Really scary to think about. Okay, here we go. This is from No Stupid Questions. Why are young people afraid of phone calls? What's with it? I work in IT, and as a general rule, nothing a client ever tells you is actually accurate. That means that most of the time, the quickest way to fix a problem is to call the person and actually find out what's going on. But with techs under 30 these days, it seems like pulling teeth. Oop, they're not brushing. A regular discussion for me with level 1 techs, usually within a few years of leaving college, is, hey, can you call blah, blah, blah from ticket blah? It's been hanging around for over an hour. I replied by email to ask for more information. Yes, I know that, but can you call them so we can find the problem and close the ticket now rather than wait until we're actually busy? I'll send them a text to follow up. No, call them. I can see their devices online. Can I send them a message and see if they'll just let me remote in to take a look? And then when I force them to make the call, it's like they have no idea how to ask a question or follow-up question. They just want to get off the call as quickly as possible, so half the time they don't even get the information required anyway. So then I end up having to do their job for them. So can someone explain what's wrong with phone calls these days? What do you think, KJ?
Maybe it's anxiety, feeling a little bit more put on the spot to come up with a solution in real time, or being afraid that like you don't know how to answer a question.
Oh, okay. In like a work setting, I can see that. I wonder if it could just be as simple as like growing up where you didn't have a landline, because I feel like that's the first level of like I feel like I remember it being a thing, like learning how to answer the phone for the house, like learning how to take a message, or like more often being put on the spot of like so-and-so's, they want to say hi. I feel like that was part of just growing up, some of the steps. And now, everyone has a phone. But yeah, I think like the younger people that have had a phone their entire life, they're just texting. They're not calling. But I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think there is some conversational skills that seem to be lost along the way.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it just comes down to people are in their head about it too much.
Right. But I mean, like, I mean, both of us are phone girls. We love chatting on the phone. But we also both have friends and family that live far away from us. So it's also like a matter of that. I mean, I think it's easier and like you lose so much tone wise, right? When you're texting, but it is funny. Like, I think most of my friends are used to it because I call people up all the time, but there is always like that jump scare moment where sometimes like somebody's coming over and then instead of texting you that they're here, they call you. And then like I do now because of how everything, I'm always like, oh shit, like did something happen? Or like, did I do something wrong? I think maybe it feels like too vulnerable too.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I remember being younger and like dating a handful of older men, and they were pro phone calls. And it was always like you were so anxious, like when you saw the call coming in, because you wanted to just text them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think calls are great.
I think calls are great.
I think texts are great for confirming plans.
Yes.
Maybe that life admin, but otherwise, again, famously, not putting things in writing.
Right.
I like to work through problems over the phone.
Yeah, I think that's better. And I think like a way to ease like Gen Z into phone calls is like, just think of it like a series of voice memos, but it's live, you know? Because like everyone sends voice memos. Like people don't have a problem sending like 15-minute voice memos back and forth to each other. And I guess then you can like listen to your own convenience. But yeah, I think also it's like the preemptive, like, hey, can I call you later? That is anxiety provoking versus just picking up the phone and calling somebody. If they don't answer, okay, they don't, it's not a big deal. But okay, let's see what the top commenter says. Okay. Top comment. A lot of younger people have grown up with texting as the primary means of communication. Texting is seen as more polite because people can respond at their own pace. A phone call is seen as less polite because it must be handled in real time and can be seen as interrupting and rude. Oh, so you have a lot of young people who would only ever call if it was an emergency, since anything that could be handled by text or email was seen as preferable. And since they aren't used to phone calls, they are often nervous because they don't have experience making them. Yeah, I mean, I think it's not a bad skill to have, though.
Yeah, I don't think so.
To be able to speak to people in all kinds of forms. This person says, I'm far from a young person and I hate phone calls. I don't neglect them when I need to make them for work, though. I find it very difficult to hear and understand people over the phone, and that makes sustaining conversations difficult. I mean, that's fair as well. Like, there's definitely a lot of factors, but for the person that's writing in, I do think that it is like probably frustrating to work with that person and then end up having to do the work for them because they are adding a bunch of unnecessary steps. They like, if you did just pick up the phone, you probably could just get it resolved in like a lot faster.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I think he can probably manage his employees a little bit. Like if someone asks you a question and you don't know the answer, it's okay. Just say, oh, like, let me get back to you. And I'm going to follow up with my supervisor.
There you go. Always follow up with the supervisor. And then I give them your business line.
From No Stupid Questions. How often are you intimate with your partner?
Ooh.
This question is primarily for those 30 and up who've been in long-term marriages, relationships, partnerships. For context, we're both nearing 40 and have been together for almost 15 years. I'd say within the last few years, we're both starting to experience the little physical changes that come with age, and our lifestyle is changing as well. Nothing necessarily bad or good, just different and new. This feels too taboo for me to ask most people I'm close with in real life, but I often find myself wondering what's the norm for most people in similar phases of life. I understand that this likely varies from couple to couple and there's no rule, but I'm curious. Nobody really talks about it, and those who do are usually one extreme end of the spectrum or the other. Edited to add, I never expected this level of engagement, but I truly do appreciate everyone's input. This is one of the things I love most about Reddit compared to other platforms. Receiving feedback from so many other people without the added interpersonal messiness is oddly so helpful and almost feels more genuine when foregoing the typical pleasantries or faux pas. I appreciate the transparency, folks.
Wow. And that's on gratitude. So their question is, how often are adults that are above, they say what, above 30 that are in like a longer term committed relationship, how often on average are they intimate with their partners? I mean, that is true that like people don't, I think for good reason, don't really like necessarily discuss that openly or disclose that, probably because there is a lot of like
variability,
shame and variability around it. What's your guess?
I would say I hope weekly.
A hopeful weekly. Yeah. But you think that's that would be around the average, or that's your optimistic guess?
Maybe bi-weekly.
Is bi-weekly every other week
every
or
other
twice a week?
I mean, twice a month seems like doable. You are like intimate partners.
Right.
It's like a super beautiful source of connection. So I feel like kind of like neglecting that.
Right. I think like if we're talking about, like it's a like decently healthy relationship and there's not something that is like like someone didn't just have a child or like is just recovering from a surgery. Like if things are like pretty normal and like pretty healthy and typical, I would expect or hope it would be around once a week. That feels right, but I kind of suspect it might be a little lower on average. Of course, there's going to be the people in the comments who are just like, well, not me and my man. We're sucking him fucking 3 times a day. He can't keep his hands off me. If your guy doesn't want to take you down, 20 times a week, then you guys have something wrong. I think, yeah, it is usually the people that are piping up where it's either like, I can't get my wife to touch me and I don't know what's wrong, or like the people that are really extreme and they are like, have a crazy
Let's
high.
see, top comment. My wife and I are just 60 and we aim once a week. When the kids were younger and home, it was more like once a month, if that. This is encouraging because with 2 kids under 6, it's been literally driving us insane. I've heard of folks scheduling it. It's not too different than a date night, really, and most folks wouldn't have pangs about scheduling a date night. Everyone I've read about that does that says it actually ramps up excitement like a kink or something. Wednesdays and Saturdays, it changed our life. We wake up looking forward to our evening together, dress a little nicer, take care of ourselves a little bit more closely. We give the kids a simple dinner. Then once they're down, we have a date. We have dinner together, a glass of wine or 2, a movie, and then we get right to it. There's no dancing around it. We both know what's happening, and it makes the whole situation better. Even if we're tired or conditions are not perfect, we try to go for it. We just remind ourselves that it is always enjoyable and go for it. Knowing what is going to happen allows us to focus on each other a bit more, and believe it or not, scheduling makes it more romantic.
I like the Wednesday, Saturday idea. I feel like that's kind of sweet. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think, and hey, if it happens more than that, that's okay too.
Yeah.
I will say it's depressing that we're like, oh, it's probably once a week. And then this first guy's like, yeah, me and my wife are in our 60s and we're doing once a week. I'm like, fuck, yeah, I think we got to like aim higher. I feel like, people are just like so stressed and like tired and anxious, and like so many things are fucking just like happening in the world. And then people like get really spun out and forget that that's kind of like one of the biggest stress relievers. But again, the huge caveat of like, that's if you like your partner and you're in a healthy relationship. Because as we know, there's a lot of people that are famously together and living together and they're like, stay the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
So that's tough. Not a stupid question, and actually some smart answers. So that's kind of cool. This is from the thread, Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend she's going to have to get over dirt if she wants kids? Okay. My 25-year-old female girlfriend, Amy, 27-year-old female, is a wonderful person. She's very smart. She works in a clean room with computer chips and stuff. But she's also something of a germaphobe, to the point that she keeps her toothbrush in the hallway outside the bathroom in a Ziploc bag. Her apartment is always spotless. She showers thrice a day. Even her car somehow never has any dirt on the floor. She hand washes all of her clothes as soon as she's done wearing them. It's both impressive and intimidating. I'm not the messiest person on the planet by any means. I don't have massive piles of unwashed dishes or a leaning tower of used pizza box or anything, but I'm not as clean as she is. I'm not against making some adjustments, but we've been talking more about the future now that we're getting serious, and I've come across a problem. Amy wants kids, desperately wants kids. I'd like kids too, but she's never been around babies or little kids before in her life, and seems to think she'll be able to keep the house just as clean as it is now and keep the baby spotless too. I'm the oldest of 4 and the oldest cousin of 9. I grew up around kids. I've been babysitting since I was 10. There's no such thing as a clean toddler, not for longer than 10 minutes at the very most. She thinks if we worked at it, we could have a spotless house and a spotless kid. I told her gently that it's just not possible and asked how she plans on handling diapers, vomit, frog smuggled into the house, jam going everywhere, etc. She insisted that the kids who do that are just poorly trained and don't have good boundaries. I told her that they're kids without fine motor control or impulse regulation, and accidents will always happen. And if she wants to have kids, she's going to have to accept that they're going to get messy and our house will get messy. Amy accused me of not being supportive and trying to find excuses of not have kids with her and trying to guilt her into being sloppier. This is dissolving into an actual fight instead of a discussion. I'm starting to second guess myself. Maybe my family was just excessively messy because we were rural and poor. Maybe my standards are too low and we really haven't tried hard enough. It's very frustrating and I want some outside perspective, parental perspective especially. So do you think that's a stupid question? She's wondering, her girlfriend thinks that she'll be able to keep the kids clean. So do you think it's stupid that the poster told her girlfriend, you're going to have to get over dirt?
No, not at all. I think it's one of those lessons too that the partner would probably learn in real time. Mm-hmm. You can only drive yourself crazy so long before like you just kind of have to accept the compromise.
Right. But you don't want to like
maybe have
be
girls
that ignorant. Well, I mean, so you have to
heard.
have selective abortion. You're just going to get a selective abortion. Make sure that
IVF, choose that gender. I mean, I have heard, I met a woman recently who had 3 daughters and she's like, oh my God, my house is so clean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it could be cleaner, but I think like the poster is just trying to get across to their partner, like, you need to be a little bit realistic about this. And like, I agree, like some of it you're just going to learn trial by fire, but I wouldn't want to have a kid with someone who is that unaware and has never spent any time with kids that they truly think that they're going to be able to maintain. I wouldn't be able to maintain that standard.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to be with Amy. So I'm not going to hand wash all of my clothes the moment that I get inside and keep my toothbrush in a Ziploc bag outside of the bathroom. So it's like,
so would
you
this
think
be a
toddler,
red flag worth reconsidering the relationship over?
I definitely think, I mean, I don't know anything about anything else about them. I think I would be in the same position as our poster where I'd be like, pump the brakes on the kid thing until you can like tell, like I would need to hear that the person that I was considering having children with had an understanding of reality a little bit more, not to be rude or disrespectful, but it is really crazy to think that it's not a matter of training.
Yes.
And I'm sure that I'm sure everyone, all the parents in the comments are laughing their asses off that you think that you can control. It's like, I don't know. We've both babysat a ton, right? Like I can remember like having a kid in the bathtub because he like had an accident all over himself, then get in the tub, then he throws up on me, and then I threw up on the floor. I was like in college, and like that's just Tuesday morning for all of my friends that have kids. They're dealing with that all the time. So I don't think it's like a stupid question or concern to be like, hey babe, like, yeah.
And I think also too, you want to raise kids who can navigate their outer experience from a position of strength and confidence. It seems that she's developed, you know, I don't want to call it neuroses because I don't want to judge her, but at the same time, she obviously feels anxiety towards germs.
Yes.
So like, does she want to imprint a child with those same anxieties? I would assume probably not.
Right.
So,
but how are you going to avoid doing that? And like, it's also going to lend itself to just like constantly needing to control and being up everyone's asses. And then everyone's just going to be angry and frustrated and anxious. And then when you're spilling more often and making more of a mess. So yeah, let's just see just a top comment here. Dad of 2 here, you're not the asshole and you're right. Messes are inevitable with kids. You can't work at getting a newborn to not spit up or not pee during a diaper change. Yes, potty training exists, of course, but you're going to be dealing with so many accidents, so many late night sheet changes. You'll find food on your kids in the weirdest, most random places. She needs to lower her expectation or she's going to be horribly disappointed. Yeah, that's going to be tough.
yeah.
That's tough. But love and light, wishing them all the best.
I know, rooting for them. From No Stupid Questions. Do you pee in the shower? I'm a male. Somehow the topic came up and I told a female friend that I have peed in the shower. I thought that everyone did this. She was grossed out and said she has never done this. I told her it's likely 99 out of 100 people have probably peed in the shower, and she said I'm nuts. We joked that Reddit will have the answer for us.
Whoa.
So, am I gross or is she too conservative?
I think people definitely pee in the shower. People are peeing all over the place. They're peeing all over each other. They're definitely peeing in the shower for sure.
I'd say probably more men than women.
Yeah, because men
can aim it.
love to
men will
just
pee.
I think that's one of their greatest joys in life, from what I've gathered.
Peeing outdoors.
Yeah, or just being able, just the freedom to just whip it out, you know, and just piss anywhere that they want. Yeah, I think it's probably more men than women, but I think there's plenty of women that are doing. I mean, we're in a grind hustle culture.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not pissing in the shower while you're showering and shaving and brushing your teeth and taking a phone call, you're not working hard enough.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Got it. Just streamlining those.
Ew.
Let's see. Top comment. I also pee in the shower and pretend to aim like a guy. LOL. I found out ages ago via Reddit, of course, that you can aim your pee
Wow.
as a woman by angling forward slightly. It's honestly pretty amusing, but the aim is not at all reliable, so don't try it outside of the shower.
I do think that like there's an argument to be made for like the toilet is usually like inches away, so it's definitely like worth a shot.
Yeah.
But I think there's like worse places that people could be doing that. So I'm kind of like, I don't think it's that gross because I'm like, all right, well, at least you're like in the shower, you're like cleaning yourself. I'm like, I'm glad you're there, babe. I'm just grateful for that. Like, let's just get to that. Wait, I actually might have a related question on here. Okay, this is from Am I the Asshole, but I'm categorizing it as a potential no stupid question. Am I the asshole for asking my husband to shower before BJ? I almost don't even want to read the post, but it just says, for asking my husband to shower, second shower of the day. Before I give him a BJ context, he showers in the morning. Our schedules usually align at night, and that's when we do the deed. He walked the dog after work, and since I know he wants a BJ, I asked him to shower. He jokingly asked, why the stipulations? You used to always do that after we've been at the bar all night. And he's right, but that's when we were young and drunk. I just told him it's more pleasurable for me if he's clean. He has good hygiene, but after 12 plus hours and walking the dog, it's bound to be a little funky. So what do you think, KJ?
Completely agree.
That he needs to get in the shower. I'm surprised that that's a hard sell.
Yeah.
I would think that just anecdotally from my experience with men and knowing men, that I would think that like they would move their whole bedroom into the bathroom. Like they would just live in the shower. They would install, the whole apartment would be a shower. If it meant like, wow. I mean, good for this queen who's really showing up, like taking care of business. But I don't think that that's a stupid request. I think that that's very valid.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I think it's undeniably funny to use the term BJ. And I think it's interesting that there are adult men that choose to go by their initials rather than, Brian James. They're like, just call me BJ. And I'll kind of leave it at that. Let me see if I can land the plane not on BJ because we're classy girls. This is from No Stupid Questions. How would you feel if your child's school served only plant-based lunches? So my cousin's school has always offered free lunches for everyone. The meals have been pretty healthy, and now the new school board suggested making them plant-based, not sure if vegan, while still keeping the focus on healthy food. The school isn't pushing veganism or saying meat is bad. I'm not totally sure of all the arguments, but the idea seems to be about encouraging kids to eat more vegetables and fruits. Personally, I think it's a neat idea. Kids don't need to eat meat or animal products all the time anyway. But some parents are furious. They've even started protesting and demanding the school board members be fired. I honestly don't get why it's such a big deal. How would you feel if your child's school made this change? Would you be upset or not, and why? What do you think, KJ?
I'd be fine with it.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah. I mean, what type of meat are they sourcing anyway?
Right.
I don't know if it's organic,
no,
pasture raised,
unless
no
this
hormones.
is someone writing from France and like they're like have the chefs at the school.
Yeah, I think it's fine. They can have protein when they come home.
You can also still have protein
Yeah.
even if it's not meat. I love the idea of that is something that these parents are going to protest about. It's like, it's genuinely something trying to be healthier for the kids. And it's like, I would love to know where those people were during like actual important issues and protests. But they're like, yeah, let's get these school board members fired because they want my kid to have tofu instead of like microwave dino chicken nuggets, which like, then pack your kid's lunch. Why do you care? Like some of these, I don't know. I think that's kind of insane to be going against that. And that's where today I declare that I go vegan. Okay. I think that's the app.
Okay, beautiful. So rooting for everyone.
Yes.
And we'll see you in the next episode.
Sounds good.